Do you want to be part of something bigger? At Siemens, we use AI to transform the everyday. Our engineering solutions drive innovation and change. We're leading in technology and building a sustainable future. Join Siemens and make an impact to transform the everyday. Apply now and be part of something extraordinary. Visit siemens.co.in/careers.
It's time for the show that brings the magic right to your speakers. Ears up!
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I've been waiting for this friggin' show forever. This is our D23 recap. And there's been a lot of stuff. There's actually a lot of really neat parks things that have been announced. We'll do the media stuff first. But the parks expansions and the new park attractions that are coming, some of them are pretty cool. Some of them really have pissed a lot of people off, and which is, I think, par for the course for any sort of Disney announcement, kind of just ever. You know what I mean? As a self-proclaimed hater, people will find something to complain about, and you get that sort of narcissistic tendency combined with the internet, and there's no boundary for what you can complain about and find to figure out about. But we're going to cover everything that was happening. Actually, not everything. I shouldn't say that. A lot of the cool stuff that happened at D23. There was a lot of stuff that happened that was like, I don't really care. Like the Stitch move, Lilo and Stitch live action. Great. But there's really nothing to talk about. It's like they're working on it, but we already know that.
Right. It'll be great. It's fine.
Stuff like that. Yeah, it'll happen. It'll just be,
Is there a handsome man telling me about it? That's what I want to know.
No, I couldn't make it.
Oh, okay.
Well, I couldn't make it. So, Tomorrow was there though.
Oh, that guy? Oh,
he looks like a lit cigarette. Like he's tall and has like the ashy gray hair. He's like one-dimensional. He's just, I don't know why.
I do appreciate that Deadpool called him out for his tight-knit sweaters.
Did he?
That was
nice.
Yeah. It was
Hell
pretty
yeah.
great.
Was it Ryan Reynolds? I saw Deadpool made an appearance. Was it Ryan Reynolds, do you think? It's probably the actor at the parks. Yeah.
Yeah, it was probably a parks person, and it was not Ryan Reynolds' voice either. I think it was probably whatever recorded voice they have for the
parks guy seems like he's doing pretty good though, from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Good for him.
He did have the chimichangas in his pistol holsters though.
Parks chimichangas?
Guns.
Yeah.
He brings guns to D23.
For when Deadpool shows up. Yeah, when Deadpool shows up in the parks, he doesn't have guns in his holsters. He's got chimichangas.
Well, that's silly.
And they did it at the panel.
I think that's funny and that's silly and that's great. And I love everything about that.
Why not?
Okay, so that's what we're talking about. So we're going to go through the movies and TV shows. We have Ryan here, of course, from Puny Pod. He's going to talk about some Marvel stuff for us. We are live over on Twitch. So if you want to see us live whenever these shows happen, which is generally every other Thursday night, come follow us on Twitch and you get a little notification, or join the Discord. Links are always at the bottom of the posts or something like that. I don't really know where they are, but that's what's happening. So we're going to be doing that. And then Ryan, we never really talked about it, but I'll just, whenever we're talking about movies and then there's like a TV show announcement or two. So that's when you can come in and we can talk about our stuff. Probably take a break. I don't know. Come back and do the park stuff. The park stuff I'm excited about. So if you are watching live, I have a couple trailers that I'm going to try to show. We'll see what happens. I don't know. And then I have a bunch of concept art as well that I will try to show as well.
But you're saying that during all of that, Ryan has to maintain absolute silence.
Yeah, he can't say a word.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not here.
If this kind of content gets you excited to go to the parks, and of course it's going to, you know what I mean? A lot of the stuff won't even start happening until like late next year. But if you're already thinking about planning your trip and you want to plan maybe around some of the stuff, contact the folks at concierge. You go to concierge.com. They will help plan your trip for you. They'll tell you basically the same stuff I'm going to tell you, because I'm going to tell you the most up-to-date information about when stuff is open. But they'll tell you how to plan your trip. They'll plan your trip for you. They'll tell you how to navigate all the weird kind of stuff that's going on. I know in November, Tiana's Bayou Adventure opened. They'll figure all that kind of stuff out for you to help you have the best vacation that you possibly can, at least in Disneyland, because that's, the thing is opening. Whatever. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. But anyway, check them out. Concierge.com. They are the travel planning professionals, and they will help you have the best vacation of your life, because You don't have to do anything. Hey, I'm trying not to do nothing over here. You know what I mean?
I do.
Yeah.
Sounds like a magical journey.
Yeah, whimsical, magical journey of whimsy. Brothers, it's 84 degrees in here now. It's temperature check, 84. Ooh,
Fairly
84
certain
degrees.
it is now warmer in here than outside.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it would probably do us a service to. Yeah, it's 82 outside. Maybe want to open that window there, Taryn.
Okay.
Yeah, get a
We'll
little bit of air going. Let's see. In other news, that's not temperature related. Although it is hot. The Buena Vista Boys is dropping. I think it's going to drop either next week or the week after. I don't know yet. That's our brand new show with our friend Matt from Shelter from Oblivion. We got a show together where we're talking about live action Disney movies from like the 50s, 60s, maybe a little bit of 70s in there. You know, you never know. And we've recorded both our episodes. If you're a Patreon supporter, you already know this. Those episodes are up for you now at any level. You don't have to be $5 a month or whatever. Any level. Patreon supporter, you can get in right now. Listen to our first 2 episodes. On Sunday, he and I are going to record kind of like a trailer-esque episode that'll be up first. And then we're going to release all 3 of those episodes. Our trailer episode and the first 2 that I already put on Patreon. Those are going to go live on the Buena Vista Boys RSS feed. So I'll be sure to push all that out whenever that goes live. But I would really appreciate if you subscribe to that. It's going to have its own feed. It's not going to be part of this, the EarzUp feed or anything like that. It's going to have its own separate thing. I'm not making the in-depth mistake again. Not doing it.
Well, I'm a patron at the 15-cent level, and I loved the Shaggy Dog.
Hell yeah. Thank you, man.
I have not listened to Hot Lead, Cold Feet yet because it terrified me as a child that Don Knotts might have been consumed by quicksand. So I'm very interested to hear about it from an adult's perspective.
Well, I don't know about that, but you have me and Matt.
Okay.
And that's, we're terminally...
Let's lower the standard just a notch.
Yeah, yeah. Standard lowering a notch, please. The first episode was on the Shaggy Dog. The second episode, Hot Lead, Cold Feet, which you haven't seen Hot Lead, Cold Feet. You got it. That is a wild show. That's a wild movie. There's one man who plays 3 different parts. And he's crazy. He's the same guy, by the way. The guy, Jim Dale is his name. He's the same guy who did all 7 audiobooks in the Harry Potter series. He narrated
Jim Dale. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just like he has 2 Guinness World Records, right? One for voicing 134 voices in The Prisoner of Azkaban.
Wow.
And the second one for breaking his first record for voicing like 148 in the Deathly Hallows. Like, so he does all the voices and stuff like that too. And it's just wild. The dude's a trip. But this movie was a lot of fun. And I think the next one we're doing is like Moonshot. I don't know. I'll announce them maybe at the end of the show, what movie we're going to watch next. So you guys can watch if you want to or not. I don't know. But anyway, it'll be fun. So that's coming in a couple weeks. Okay, let's get into it, huh? Let's do a little D23 recap. I'm kind of excited about it. You know, we complain, I complain, other people complain about the lack of parks information, or sort of seems like the parks don't know where they're going. There's like a lack of vision that we know about, you know. But I think D23 put a lot of that to rest. They definitely have a firm grasp on the rudder about where they're going. They might run ashore. They might go into open ocean. We don't really know, but at least they have a direction and they're moving in it. And I think that's great. So we're going to start off with the movie films. The first movie that I want to talk about, and look, a lot of these, you guys know how it goes at D23. There's not a lot of information about any of this stuff. It's just like paragraphs. So it's not going to take too long. We can't get in depth because they didn't live stream any of this garbage.
I know. That was so weird.
I'm annoyed by that. Yeah. They didn't live stream anything. So, we don't get the benefit of the panels and stuff like that, right? Really hearing the speeches. So I'm going off like the Disney Park blogs and their recaps and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay.
So the first movie I want to mention is The Mandalorian and Grogu, which I believe is the working title of the movie.
They're making a movie.
They're making a movie,
about
yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I hope they add more words to that title someday.
They probably won't. Part 1 might be. It might be there. That will release in theaters on May 22nd, 2026. So if you're excited at all about this, don't be. Because you're going to wait 2 years to see it.
I'm not. I just wish they made like another season of the show. Like, I don't understand why jump
Why
to
it has
a
to be a
movie.
movie? Because movies make $1 billion and the shows don't, I guess.
That's true.
Yeah.
2026 is going to be hot.
Right?
Sounds like it.
Very little is known about the film, including its placement in the Mandalorian timeline and who else is set to star besides Pedro Pascal. However, Alien star Sigourney Weaver is in talks to star in this film, though details about her character are still under wraps.
Adult baby Yoda. Sigourney
Yeah,
Weaver.
That's right.
Yeah, that's weird. Like, first of all, when you're talking about the timeline, I'm like, well, it's baby Grogu. So if it's about Grogu, it's got to be the same timeline. But anyway, whatever.
Well, don't forget so Grogu is the same species as Yoda, and
Yeah,
Yoda
so
was
he-
like 800 years old when he
Yeah,
died.
that's
So,
true.
he could be a baby for 100 years. We don't know.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is very convenient for everybody, to be honest with you. It's a convenient plot device. Like, this
Absolutely.
thing never, I mean, imagine like in all the, like the TV shows you watch, like the kids never got older.
Yeah. Oh, you could go forever.
Perfect. Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah. Teenagers never had to go to college, get out of high school.
Go through puberty,
Show would go on forever.
Yeah, that's right.
Cousin Oliver, not
Called
a
the
thing.
Simpsons.
Right.
Can I, before you move on, I have this little tidbit about Pedro Pascal.
Okay.
Because I play this game on my phone and it melds by AI 2 different celebrity faces and you have to guess who the 2 faces are.
Okay.
So it's a game I play.
Right.
And they use Pedro Pascal often. But when I can tell it's him, but I can't remember his name. And every time I can't remember his name, I first think, Daddy?
Okay. All right.
And then I have to go like, okay, Daddy, but not the Disney Daddy, the other Daddy, the Mandalorian Daddy, Pedro. And like, that's like every single time that happens. And it's just so weird.
I don't know if I should be emasculated or not.
It's
Pedro Emascial.
It's just because of TikTok.
Yeah.
But
Oh, sure.
every time I'm
Yeah.
like, Daddy.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So social media has conditioned you.
Yeah. To think he's Daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's Zaddy.
I also
first of all.
don't think Daddy's face is going to be in Mando and Grogu because it started, I think during that panel, they said it was going to start filming like later this year.
Mhm.
And he's also in Fantastic Four, which is currently filming.
Where he doesn't wear a mask.
Yeah, where he's not
Yeah.
wearing a mask. And I have a feeling it's going to be a body double voice situation.
Could it be a
for
different
that.
daddy? Could it be Josh?
Daddy tomorrow in
Yeah.
the suit?
Yeah.
So that's the other Daddy. There's 2 daddies, and that's the other one.
There was not an official trailer shown at D23. Supposedly, it was more of just like random stuff cobbled together to show something, a concept art or whatever. But Disney apparently keeps scrubbing any and all footage of this panel specifically from the internet. So I have like
Really?
nothing to show you. Yeah. People are like, we can't show you the trailer because you get DCMA takedowns from or DMCA takedowns from Disney.
Wow.
They will not put any of this out.
It was wild with the Lucasfilm and the Marvel part of this panel. None of it's online.
No.
Everything else, Pixar, live action, like Disney live action, Disney animation, it all went up online immediately. Like within seconds of it being shown in the room, it was on their YouTube. The rest,
Exactly.
No.
So don't do what I did and make the mistake of typing in the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer, because there's a couple YouTube channels that do concept trailers.
Oh, like
So they cut their own trailer
Like
and write
fan
their own
edits?
thing. Yeah, and it's just like
Mhm.
this. Okay, I mean, you got me. Good job
Yeah.
doing what you think. I'm not like knocking the dude who does it, but it's like
but
okay,
it's fan fiction, and
Right.
You got
and
it
that's
right.
not what I'm looking for. But alongside the announcement for the theatrical release of this movie, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge's Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. That's a lot of words, man.
Wait,
Sure is.
That's a movie. It's not even.
No,
a good,
it's not. Star
Oh.
Wars Galaxy's Edge's Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. So it's the ride Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run within Galaxy's Edge
Uh-huh.
within Star Wars land.
Uh-huh.
Got it?
Uh-huh.
We'll be getting a brand new story featuring its 2 stars. Star Wars creative executive Dave Filoni stopped by D23's Disney Experiences showcase to share the news and confirmed it will be coming to both Disneyland and Walt Disney World. So, Star Tours kind of thing,
Yeah,
right?
that's fine.
It's about time.
Yeah, right.
That's
I
cool.
need another reason to smash buttons on the wall.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Furthermore, he shared that Epic's Unreal Engine is being used to bring this new mission to life, which is sort of a gamer thing. I mean, I think it'll be
They
neat.
used Unreal for the first mission.
Yeah.
Like
No.
Yeah. I saw footage of somebody in there when it crashed, and it was just a Windows screen, and it just had a bunch of Unreal icons on there
Nice.
that they just had to like
Louise,
double
dude.
click and boot up.
Did it load an old version of Quake?
Yeah, you can navigate Doom through this thing. And Quake was a good game. I love it.
So was Doom.
Yeah.
Both of those.
Okay, the next movie on the list, Tron. Ares is the subtitle for this. So what's the third Tron movie?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the new Tron film. Jeff Bridges and Jared Leto were on stage to present Tron Ares with Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross from Nine Inch Nails doing
Yes.
the soundtrack for it. So this, to me, it sounds like it's going to be a lot darker and more like cyberpunkish kind of thing, maybe. You don't get Trent Reznor doing anything lighthearted, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little different than Daft Punk.
Yeah. Which was a great soundtrack, but
We have no idea what it's about, but my money's on an unstoppable generative AI takeover. And I literally copied and pasted that from someone else. I have no idea. That's not my take on it.
The
at all.
story I saw, like from the like inner or from the like panel, just from what I saw, people kind of generally agreeing on, was it's gonna do the Jurassic Park thing, and it's coming into the real world. Tron's coming to the real world.
Okay. That'll be interesting to see how that happens.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
you know,
And hopefully it doesn't do the Jurassic Park thing and do
Suck.
it poorly.
Right. The third Tron movie is aiming for October 10th, 2025, which is 15 years after Tron Legacy and 40 years after the original. And again, no trailer. They had like a little bit of a sizzle thing, but it was like 8 seconds. It wasn't worth grabbing.
I love both
Okay.
Trons. I'm sure I'm going to love this one.
I didn't see the second Tron.
Yeah.
Really?
We never saw that.
Yeah.
Oh,
I heard it was just awful, and I didn't really. Here's the secret about me. I don't really care about Tron.
Okay.
It's not like that exciting. It was really cool back then, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
But like the story, I don't know, I guess. I feel like Lawnmower Man did it better. I don't know. That's just me.
So did you watch Lawnmower Man with your eyes closed, or
What do you mean? Why would I do that?
the CGI? I'm just saying.
Oh, it was awful. Yeah, but it was still cool.
Sure.
I mean, you know what I mean? Yeah.
next week on Buena Vista Boys.
The next movie we have coming up is Toy Story 5. We are getting long in the tooth with this Toy Story garbage, but
Yeah,
whatever.
I thought that they were stopping at 3, and then they had when does it end?
I think they were supposed to stop at 2, and then they stopped at 3. Then they did 3, and then I don't know. Who knows?
They should have stopped at 3. 3 was great.
3 was great.
4.
Writer and director Andrew Stanton revealed that the big crisis in Toy Story 5 will be screen time. This is where we are in storytelling these days.
Which
is
I kinda like
screen
it.
time.
I kind of like it because it is a thing. It's an issue. It's a thing that happens. And if you were a toy, that would be your biggest enemy. So I actually like that plot point.
Yes.
I don't like the idea of there being a Toy Story 5.
Oh gosh,
But it
if
will
they're
make a
going
lot of
to
money.
define it that way, they're going to find some way to make us cry, right?
Always. And
Oh, yeah.
and it's going to be perfectly okay is what it's going to be.
And it's going to be like Buzz versus Wreck-It Ralph. And
Woody, Buzz, and the rest of the gang will be fighting for their lives against the algorithm and the devices that power it, which is also what everyone will be watching the movie on. How meta. It's coming in the summer of 2026. And also no trailer. They have like a 20-second teaser, but it's literally You've Got a Friend in Me song playing with the main characters like winking at you. It's really lame. It was very dumb, but they had to do something. Like they're not even voiced. They're just like wink, and you can hear like the clack of the plastic, you know? So there's all that there, but that's kind of it. It was like, oh, it's great.
Was You've Got a
Cool.
Friend in Me playing very slowly with a lot of echo on it?
Maybe. You never know. So yeah, that's cool. I don't know. Screen time, whatever. Who cares? They're going to fight the algorithm, whatever that means. Maybe it'll be Wreck-It Ralph. Maybe they'll get digitized.
Yeah.
You know, they'll get a 3D printer and print themselves inserted into the whatever. Our live
it'll be the
action.
introduction of the Pixar cinematic universe.
There you go.
But how many times is Woody going to whine about Andy is what I'm
Well, it's
curious
no
about.
longer Andy anymore, right? Because they got given to
Well, they did, but he
Bonnie.
whined about
Bonnie.
him all the whole four.
Well, Woody left, right? Didn't he go away?
Right.
Woody went away. He went off with Bo Peep.
Maybe in between, Andy died of leukemia.
Oh my God, Eric!
What is wrong with you, dude?
Are
I'm just
you
saying.
okay?
Let's eliminate
College
the
went
possibility.
A really, really difficult way.
Start really dark.
for Andy.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
I mean, the storyline has to go somewhere, I guess.
Hey, the live action Snow White got a trailer. You guys want to check that out?
Let's see it.
Yes.
Let's do it.
No, but yes.
All right.
The house looks like a face.
I see it.
Oh, Bambi's there. Good.
I mean, it doesn't look half bad. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
So whistle while you work. Whistle while you work. Magic mirror on the wall.
Who's the fairest one of all?
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
My first impression is, I don't think people are going to like this. It looks better than the cartoon. Okay.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the cartoon was done in the 30s. I mean,
Yeah.
So-
it doesn't look that bad.
it doesn't look that
So
bad.
this is kind of my hot take about these live action remakes. Is there are two classes of movies that I think work well with it, and Snow White falls into one of those. It is so old that it's hard to make it relevant for a new generation. And that's where Snow White falls. Or it didn't get a fair shot first time around. Things that they haven't really remade yet. So like Atlantis or like Treasure Planet or something like that. That's those two like categories of animated movies I think are the best ones, are the most ripe for recreation.
All right.
So when's Emperor's New Groove coming?
Yeah. That would be awesome. Could you imagine David Spade like reprising his role as Cusco?
No.
I mean, I feel like I see what you're saying, but the only pushback I would give you on that is, I mean, they've been marketing the hell and selling the hell out of Snow White merch for, almost 100 years, right? Like,
for sure.
I don't think they have a problem making it relevant for people.
I think it's hard to get a younger kid to watch it. Like that merch is all going to
Yes.
like adults.
Yes, I see what you're saying. Yeah, storytelling, that's my rant, right? It's like storytelling is way different. And that movie is kind of boring.
Yeah.
A lot of the classic animated movies are boring. They're boring. Wouldn't want to watch them.
I saw a TikTok of a little person talking about how they don't use little people as the dwarves, and how it's kind of, from his perspective, it's a missed opportunity. And I feel like
I saw that same one, I think, too, where he mentions Peter Dinklage, how Peter Dinklage was pissed.
Oh, yeah.
And he's
he
like,
was.
it's this opportunity for us to be seen.
Yeah.
But in the trailer, it looked like they were little people. So I don't know. Maybe they were CGI'd in and
yeah.
whatever.
So I was really hoping to see what they were. But yeah, the shadows of them did look, I mean, they looked little, but like,
Yeah.
if they made just regular size people look little,
seems
like
weird.
that would be a poor choice. I
Yeah,
would
well,
think.
I mean, this is another Disney production that has been absolutely riddled
Oh yeah.
with controversy and drama and reshoots and talks of canceling, and so who knows what this is going to be. I mean, I fear that's going to be like Solo was, where they had to get two separate directors in to salvage it, and it was just a piece of garbage.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Except for
It
the
looks-
people that might have liked it, who might be on this show.
No, Taryn didn't like it, so don't worry about that. I will say it looks good. It looks
does.
cool. It looks a lot better than I thought. I don't like whatever her face is, Rachel Zegler or whatever. She was terrible. She's always terrible. I don't like her at all.
Who's the queen?
Gal Gadot.
I don't know who that. I mean, I've heard the name, but I don't know who that is.
Yeah, she was Wonder Woman. She's done a lot of stuff.
Oh.
Lisa in the chat, hot take, very good take, says casting someone to supposedly be fairer than Gal Gadot feels like a poor choice. And I agree with that.
You know, the reason I asked is because, like, in that trailer, and maybe it was the angle I was at, it looked like Kim Kardashian. And I was like,
oh my God.
Well,
bro, talk about burying the lead. Are you kidding me? No way. There's no way I would let that fly.
No. I knew it wasn't, but I was like, who is that?
Who is that? All right, speaking of trailers, Moana 2 got an official trailer.
Oh.
We should check that out, huh?
You wanted to come this time.
Look, we all thought he was going to come last time, didn't we? I did.
You were gone forever.
It was 3 days.
Where are we going?
Before Maui stole Tifiti's heart, our ancestors wanted to connect our island to all the people of the entire ocean. It's my job as a wayfinder to finish what they started.
Wanna show our people just how far we'll go.
This is a call from the ancestors.
Hidden in a terrible storm, it's an ancient island. Setting foot on its sands would break the curse, bring our people together again.
I know what I have to do. Maui, I could really use your help.
Can I get a chee-hoo?
You will be destroyed, and your wayfinder too.
Now I kind of miss the lava monster. Ow! Ow!
What if you don't come back?
I'll be back. I promise.
Do I hear people?
Those aren't people. Cockamora. You guys, we got this. Bring it on, Coco. Nuts.
There you go.
Okay.
So that's the trailer for Moana, releasing November 27th, which is very exciting for everybody in general.
I have conflicting opinions about this.
Me too. Let me get through the plot real fast.
Okay.
After receiving an unexpected call from her wayfinding ancestors, Moana must journey to the far seas of Oceania and into dangerous, long-lost waters to search for a hidden island that could break a curse made up of a fury of storms that have fallen upon Oceania. Tell me what's not that. Tell me what part of that is not in the first one. It's the same stupid thing. A long-lost island. You have to go through waters that are uncharted to save the thing. It's the same plot. On an adventure unlike anything she has ever faced before, except in the previous movie, she'll be forced to face off against old and new challenges from creatures led by Matangi, a dreaded underworld goddess. Why are women all evil in these movies? Why can't a woman be a nice person in this movie?
Well, Moana's a nice person.
Moana.
Is she, though? I mean,
Yes.
she defeated another woman.
No.
You have women beating women. Why can't they
No,
support each other?
She didn't beat her. She helped her become nice.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
told her. She must summon her old demigod, whatever. That's what's happening. November
it looks
27th
super cute.
of this year.
It'll
I
be
mean, it
great.
looks fine. It'll be great. It's a Moana movie. It's fine. I want to know how long after the first one this is, because the pig is still short.
And there's a sister that's like 2 or 3.
She was
Yeah.
just
Also
out of
stupid adorable.
just out of the shot on the entire previous movie. She was literally
true.
with them the whole time.
I felt like it was at first when it first started the trailer, I got really excited. I was like, you know what? I'm on board. I love it. I love Moana. This is great.
Yeah.
And then as it was going, and then especially when I got to the Cockamora scene, I'm like, this is the same damn movie. Like even
I will say, my favorite part about Moana 1 was the Cockamora. And I will forever be on this soapbox that Trader Sam's is missing out on not having Kakamora themed mugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are they? Give me them right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Do you think Jermaine Clement will do another Bowie impression?
I hope so.
Okay. I'm in.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff coming out for the
It'll be good enough.
for the movies. Yeah, for sure. Ryan, what do you got Avengers wise? Is there any movies coming out that you're qualified to speak on?
Movies wise, so they basically did a repeat of their San Diego Comic-Con information on the movie side of Marvel.
Okay.
So we got it was the same footage that they showed at San Diego Comic-Con for Captain America Brave New World. Involves Red Hulk bringing adamantium into the MCU, kind of cool stuff.
Pretty cool, yeah.
Fantastic Four, we got to see the costume. So there's some stills from they kind of played a video from the set. It's filming right now. It started filming 2 weeks ago. So they showed they showed a video in the room from the set. Lots of people took pictures of it. Joseph Quinn is in his Fantastic Four suit. Looks pretty fun. It's kind of a classic look, and they're in what I would assume is a set kitchen. It's kind of mid-mod 60s feel, which is what we expect out of this movie. So it should be really, really fun. I think that, it'll be really cool. At San Diego Comic-Con, which was 2 weeks prior to this, they announced Avengers stuff, and that was really the big blowout on the Marvel movie side, is that we have an Avengers movie coming out in 2026 and 2027, and Robert Downey Jr. will be playing Dr. Doom.
Sure.
Nice.
How are there more Avenger movies? Because we had the bookend, didn't we, with Endgame?
That just ended the game. It didn't end the Avengers.
No, because they reformed the Avengers at the end of that movie.
Yeah,
the Avengers are like a team that's like always around.
Yeah, it just ended the game, as Eric says.
It ended the Infinity Saga. So like that big villain arc that was running for 15 years, that ended. But there's other big villain arcs to do.
Yeah.
And then can you explain to me
who doesn't know that?
Why Iron Man is coming back as a different person?
Because Marvel wants money.
So does Robert Downey Jr. That's
I joke, but I think actually the tenor of a lot of the movie announcements to me were very much, this company needs money, and they're placing sure bets. That's what all the sequels are. There were a few like original IPs that they're doing. Like I think Pixar announced an original movie, and Animation announced an original movie, but the rest were all sequels and stuff. And I think that's just they aren't placing risky bets.
So,
but yeah.
So Robert Downey Jr. is just playing a different character. There's no connection to Iron Man.
We don't know yet. There are fan theories. My fan theory has to do with the character he's replacing. So he's essentially replacing Jonathan Majors, who is playing Kang, which in the comic books, Kang has relationships with other characters in the Marvel universe. So I think they might be borrowing that part of his character and applying it to Dr. Doom here. But that gets really heady, and that's very, if you want a full explanation of that, it takes a long time.
I don't even know what you just said. So yeah. I don't think a full explanation is going to help me.
See, things are comic books. So they're little drawings in little squares, and they go in sequential order, and you turn the page and stuff like that. It's been around for a long time.
Yeah, I guess I'm just, we don't even need to dive into it anymore. I just want to know, like, as a person who has only knows these comics from watching these movies, I'm going to watch that movie and go, that's Iron Man.
Yeah, me too.
I think they'll explain it in the story. So the character that he's replacing is a time-traveling child or descendant of Reed Richards, and so my own theory is that
as if she knows who Reed Richards is.
Yeah, I was staring.
Papa Pascal is playing Reed Richards.
That doesn't help.
That's fine. I don't think we're going to get into it now.
I think he'll be. Yeah, I think that Dr. Doom will be a time traveling descendant from the future of Iron Man. That's my theory.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
I love that. You know what I love even more? Summer is just around the corner, and our friends at the 21st Amendment Brewery are welcoming the warmer weather with open arms and a refreshing favorite, Hell or High Watermelon Wheat. Picture this: a sunny day, the smell of barbecue in the air, and a cold, crisp Hell or High Watermelon in your hand. It's the ultimate summertime companion, perfect for those unforgettable gatherings with friends and family. But what makes Hell or High Watermelon so special? It's not just its bright straw color or tight white bubbles. No, it's the subtle blend of wheat beer with the hint of sweet biscuit and a kiss of juicy watermelon that sets it apart from the rest. With its refreshing flavor and delightful light fruit notes, Hell or High Watermelon is bound to become your go-to summer beer. And at just 4.9% ABV, you can enjoy it all day long without missing a beat. So when you're looking for that perfect beverage to complement those sunny days and backyard barbecues, look no further than Hell or High Watermelon Wheat. Find it wherever great craft beer is sold and make this summer one to remember. Yeah, why don't you do that? You know what I mean? I'm tired of people not doing that.
Yeah, make this summer a summer to remember.
All right, let's do a couple of TV announcements.
Oh, I love TV. I do.
Great, man.
It's better than movies.
I wish I was watching TV right now.
Me too. I wish I was
I
TV.
actually kind of do.
Yeah. Thanks, Taryn.
I wish you were TV too.
Yeah. Then you'd pay attention to me instead of ignoring me. This next one is called Skeleton Crew and is the latest Star Wars themed announcement to come through. Let's watch the trailer and then we'll talk about it.
Tomorrow's test will set the course of your entire future.
Don't you ever want to do anything exciting? Like what? What if we could go anywhere we want in the whole galaxy? A real adventure. No more pretend. I found something buried in the woods. What do you think it is? I think it's a lost Jedi temple. Hello? Be careful where you step. We're lost. Really lost.
'Tis dangerous out there in space. Trust no one.
You're a Jedi.
I love it. I'm in.
I'm
Me
in.
too.
That looks
I know
great.
exactly. Yeah, it looks awesome.
Absolutely.
It looks so cute. And I know exactly how it's going to go for me. I'm going to absolutely love the first 2 episodes, and then it's going to get all actiony. I'm going to fall asleep on every episode, and then I'll find out how it ends, but from Jason.
That's true.
But I think it looks really good.
It's basically Goonies for the first part.
Totally.
Right.
Definitely a Steven Spielberg kind of vibe. What I did notice, and I read about it first, and someone else made this observation, and then seeing the trailer for the first time now, I realized that there's a little creature in a cage. It was like a red pink kind of thing with like fuzzy, and it had wings.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I did see that a little bit.
That is the same creature that's Fuzzball from Captain EO.
Captain EO. Oh wow.
Oh, why is he in a cage?
Well, I don't know. But
that's
the point is that I think that the point that this person was making, and I think it's an accurate one, that now Captain EO has to be canon, right? In Star Wars. Captain EO is part of Star Wars.
Does that mean that Jude Law will save the day by dancing?
I hope so. I truly do.
Jude Law can do anything.
That's true. Yeah. So I thought that was pretty interesting. It was like, oh, hey, that's Fuzzball. That's awesome. I love it. He chirped, a little chirp guy. He was like, whatever.
Cool.
Yeah, Taryn. Why is he in a cage? Not the fact that he's from Captain EO in a Star Wars trailer, but he's in a cage.
I feel
the
bad.
puppet's
for
in a cage.
I feel bad for him.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. So that is happening. The Star Wars series is executive produced by John Watts, takes place in the same timeline as The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett. and follows a, quote, group of kids who are about 10 years old who get lost in the Star Wars universe. It stars 4 kids, but it's not a kids show, he added.
It doesn't look like it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I don't know. It looks, anyway.
But I mean, Star Wars is kind of like, it's fine for kids.
For sure, yeah. Preteens, I guess. Skeleton Crew has its 2-episode premiere December 3rd on Disney+. I think it'll be great. I think it'll do really well, and good job. Maybe. I'm sure I'll not like most of it. But it looked exciting. The graphics are cool. It's very dark. It's very, like I said, Spielberg-y, E.T. kind of thing. It's looks neat.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great.
Yeah. Okay, and then the last one we're going to talk about, let me see, which mouse am I friggin' using right now? It's a new series from the folks at Pixar.
Oh.
Pixar has a brand new TV show out, and it's called Win or Lose. So we're going to watch a little bit of that, and then talk about it.
Pickles, huddle up. You all did great today, but there is one person who did the same level as all of you, just fantastic, but better. Anyway, I see a whole lot of people who underestimated us. And you know what? Sometimes you have to earn your respect. Tonight is our moment for redemption.
There you go.
It looked fine, but I feel like it should just be a movie.
Well, I mean, you feel that way a lot.
No, like, I don't think I will watch, like, a series like that.
All right. Yeah, maybe. Win or Lose is Pixar Animation Studios' first ever original series, and it follows the intertwined stories of 8 different characters as they each prepare for their big championship softball game. The series reveals what it actually feels like to be in the shoes of each character, the insecure kids, their helicopter parents, even a lovesick umpire, with incredibly funny, very emotional, and uniquely animated perspectives. Directed, written, and executive produced by Carrie Hobson and Michael Yates and produced by David Lally, Win or Lose began streaming on Disney Plus December 6th, 2024. I think it looked cute. There's a lot of sort of mixed disciplines in animation there. You had like 8-bit animation.
Yeah,
it looks pretty neat. It's looks pretty creative. Will Forte is the coach that you heard there, and should be cool.
Yeah, I think using the episode structure to like explore a different like perspective every time sounds really cool.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Are we sure it's not like Planes 3?
It might be. I mean, look, with all the stuff going on, you never know these days.
Okay.
You never know. Okay, that's enough for the movie and TV that I wanted to cover.
Did you want to get some TV from Marvel?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Thank you for
Marvel TV stuff.
Go ahead. What do you got?
No, you're good. You're good. So at the Friday night big shebang media part, they discussed the live action stuff for Marvel, and the one that really stood out for everybody was Daredevil. So Daredevil Born Again, and there was a trailer shown in the room, leaked out to Twitter. I'm sure it's been scrubbed and hit with DCMAs, but I did get a chance to watch the kind of leaked one, and it's very good. It's very, very gritty, very bloody. And this is being described as a continuation of the Netflix Daredevil series, but enjoyable by a new audience. Okay. So you don't have to watch the Netflix series, but you'll get more out of it if you have. Kind of like they did with X-Men 97 for anybody who watched that.
Yeah.
You could watch that fresh, but you got more if you watched the 90s X-Men. Same sort of deal. So that's coming out in March of 2025. They had John Barenthal on stage to show up as Punisher. They had Deborah Ann Wall showing up as Karen. I forget the guy. Every time I forget the actor who's playing Foggy. It's not John Favreau, who played Foggy with Ben Affleck, but they're all coming back from, they all were in the Netflix series. So they're all coming back. It looks really, really good. It looks like our villain's going to be the White Tiger, which is kind of an exciting little bit there. Looks like we're going to be teaming up with Kingpin. It is meant to be, they're labeling it what they're calling a spotlight, which the idea of a spotlight thing in the Marvel universe is that you don't have to know everything else about Marvel to enjoy this. That's what they labeled Echo as, which came out earlier this year. They're giving Daredevil the same sort of treatment. So the idea is you could watch it in a vacuum, it'll be enjoyable, but it does reward you kind of knowing more.
Okay.
And then the next morning, actually on Saturday of D23, they actually had a dedicated Marvel animation panel. Lots of animation projects announced. I just want to highlight a couple. So What If Season 3 will be coming out later this year. It will be the final season of What If. So for those who don't know, the What If series is basically take a story beat from a Marvel story and what if something changed about it, right? What if
it was good?
Whoa.
Yes, exactly. So in What If Season 3, they did confirm that Moon Knight, Ironheart, White Vision, and Shang-Chi will all appear, all voiced by their film actors, which is kind of fun. They also did show a clip in the room of Avengers getting into giant, like, Gundam-style mechs. And fighting against Gamma kaiju monsters, Gamazilla, if you will.
Nice.
So looks pretty fun. Giant, one of the episodes will be giant robots fighting giant monsters, which who doesn't love that?
Right.
They also announced Eyes of Wakanda, which will be a 4-part series. I don't think they announced a release date for this. This is the only Marvel animation project that will be directly tied to the MCU. Everything else exists kind of on its own. This will be tied directly to the MCU, and it's being billed as the history of Wakanda that they had to hide. So in the movies, Wakanda was a hidden country for a very long time. They were an isolationist country. So this is their history, right? This is what was going on during all that time that the world didn't know about them.
Okay, that's cool. Normally, backstory is kind of boring, but I would like to know how this country developed all these, cool super weapons and all this technology under the radar, literally, I suppose.
Right, yeah, and they interface with in the comics they've interfaced with like World War II. They've shown up a little bit, so it'll be interesting to see if they pull some of that sort of stuff in.
Yeah.
They did say that they did announce that Iron Fist will appear and hinted towards a possible interaction with his homeland of Kunlun, which means nothing to anyone who isn't a huge Marvel head, but for those who are huge Marvel heads, it means a lot. So pretty exciting there, though, that we're going to get kind of the backstory of Wakanda, and Ryan Coogler is producing it, who directed both Black Panther movies. So I think it's going to be a excellent series. Fortunately, we didn't get a release date and no trailers. The only public trailer that Marvel put out was for Agatha All Along, which comes out in September. But they didn't put out any trailers whatsoever for all this. They put them in the room. People got to see clips.
Oh, for sure. And that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. That's all you got.
That's all I got.
Cool.
That's all I got. I mean, there's some weird animation projects. So, but I won't bore you guys with those.
Hey, man. It's all right. Okay, let's take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to deal with parks stuff. This is exciting. There's no trailers, but have concept art. So it's very boring for a podcast. But we'll do our best to discuss what we're looking at and kind of have a little bit of information about these things. Again, it's all like the movie projects. There's not a whole lot of information, but because they're in the parks, we can sort of guess as to where things might be going, and that's exciting. So we have a lot to cover. So hang on, everyone. It's Ears Up. We'll be right back.
And now, back to the show that ignites your dream wish of imaginations and magical color wonderment of forever. Ears Up.
All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging around. We are going to be talking about parks stuff. This is big.
Get ready to get mad.
This is big.
As we always do.
Yeah, well. There's going to be some of that. I'm not going to lie. There's going to be some madness, but maybe some not. We'll see.
Maybe some not. I haven't heard any of it, so I'm excited.
All right. So let's start off with DCA. We're going to bounce around a little bit just because that's made more sense to me in my brain. In DCA, we're getting a Coco ride somewhere. We're getting a ride based on the movie Coco. There was one piece of concept art that I found, and from that, it looks kind of like a Pirates type ride. Let me pull that up here.
I don't really mind this idea. I mean, if it's supposed to be Pixar land or whatever.
So that's Coco. That's the Coco land ride. So you can see there's a Pirates based as far as like there's a flume. It's a boat ride. You're cruising through a river, and the set design is on either side of you, sort of at water level. Like you're cruising through the pavilion, just like when you're cruising through Puerto Dorado and the pirates are right next to you and stuff. It looks a lot like that.
That's great.
Yeah, I'm all right with it.
They invoked pirates and mansion in the description of this ride, which is big shoes to fill.
Yeah. Why were you really quiet right there, Ryan? What the hell's wrong with you?
I don't know.
Okay.
Does this sound better?
Yeah, perfect.
I was just off my mic. Sorry.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah, I think this looks cool. I like it.
Yeah, I think it looks cool too. Actually, what I'm gonna do is
one weird thing about this picture is there's a boat.
Yeah, describe it, Taryn. Gmail.
There is a purple boat with several people in it. It's a larger boat, so it's going to be more than just your family. But what's odd is that like I would expect it to have seats like Pirates of the Caribbean, but it looks like they're individual chairs.
Oh,
they
you're
do have
right.
like individual backs to them.
Yeah,
That is interesting.
It's odd.
You know what? Looking at it now, though, it's hard to say because we only see the sides of them. So it might just be the benches might be formed like old timey crafted wooden chairs, and it might just be one singular thing. I can't imagine it's separate like in the Jeeps in Indy or something like that. I imagine it's bench seats that you slide on, but they just look like chairs. Yeah.
But also like they're not matching. Like it's odd. It's odd. But
they just have folding chairs in there.
That's honestly what it looks like.
I mean, and they're probably not matching because that's just the vibe of everything, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks cool. You know, there's a lot of the Day of the Dead, obviously the skeletons doing dances and singing and whatever, and you have fireworks in the sky and a jaguar parrot or something like that.
I haven't even seen this movie, and this looks fun.
I know. I haven't seen it either. I don't really know where it's going. That's kind of one of the things. Construction won't even start until 2026, so don't plan your vacation around it just yet. And I was interested in why Coco. Anytime anybody mentions Coco coming or, hey, we should get a Coco ride, I'm like, how did this movie do? Who likes Coco? You know what I mean? There's no merch. There's nothing really about it. So I looked it up. Coco grossed $210.4 million in the United States and Canada in opening weekend and $603.8 million in other countries for a worldwide total of $814 million. That's a lot.
Not bad.
And it is a motif they use for Halloween. They've been using it for Halloween merch since.
Well, yeah, Day of the Dead stuff, and from what I understand, it's also one of those movies that has been on continual replay on Disney Plus for a long time, like Moana, where Moana didn't do great in the theaters, but it's consistently one of the most watched properties on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
interesting. Okay. The second one, Avatar Land, is coming. And we kind of knew that.
To DCA?
That's what they say.
Where?
And tomorrow, or someone was like, yeah, it's coming part of the Disneyland Forward, but they didn't really say where. I thought it would be in the expansion part, but I think they're talking DCA. Where? I don't know. Maybe they're expanding what the borders of what DCA is. Have no idea.
Weird.
But we knew Avatar Land was coming, but until now, we didn't really know where or in what capacity. And we learned a bit more about the project last weekend. So here's a slide from Avatar Land. I think this is the overview. Avatar Land will be themed after locations and characters from Avatar: The Way of Water, which is the second film, I believe. So look for lots of oceanic themes and, stuff like that. And you can kind of see in this concept art, I don't really know what we're looking at here. I have no idea about Avatar. It looks like a camp or something with just a lot of really craggy rocks. There's a lot of maybe tide pools, a lot of ocean stuff way out here in the corner.
There is not a big floating mountain, though, which is a noticeable omission.
Okay.
But hey, it's different
because that's what everybody talks about with the Animal Kingdom one is the big floating mountain.
Oh, got it. Okay.
But that's what is nice. It's different from what the East Coast has.
Yeah,
100%.
for sure. Disney has also said there are plans to include characters from the upcoming Avatar films, like the newly announced, or at least newly titled, Avatar Fire and Ash. So it seems like rather a dynamic space where they can maybe plan for new additions without really doing a whole lot. A quote from the Disney blog says, quote, "This is going to be a dynamic, intense, and emotional experience on a grand scale that we know our guests will love." So get ready to be emotional about this, you guys. Here's another slide. So this one is...
Hold on, before you go to the next one.
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring up that in that slide where there was like this...
I can go back if that will help you.
That will help.
Okay.
There was like this building.
Yeah.
Down in the bottom right corner. It looks like a tunnel-y type building, some sort of warehouse. Could that be Soarin'? And if that was Soarin', then that little lake thing would make sense because that's Grizzly River Run.
That would like totally change the value of California of the Grand California.
Oh gosh, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
like to do anything with that Grizzly River area, you completely change. You're doing more than just the theme park at that.
Yeah,
it's just this looks huge.
You're talking about potentially replacing Soarin'?
That's just what I thought when I looked at this and I saw that building.
I see what you're saying, and I'm looking at it now. Hangar, it looks like a Quonset hut or like a little hangar. But from what I remember from the Avatar from the first movie, when I was awake and wasn't sleeping through it, it was boring. It was very much like you're landing on this planet and you're sort of like a military base camp. So that would make a lot of sense. They're sort of military-esque. That's an easy, it's a hangar to keep vehicles and such, and like a repair bay or something like that. So that might be it. It might be just disconnected entirely from whatever area you're thinking. But it does look very similar, which would make sense. Soarin' is supposed to be built like a airplane hangar, right? So, yeah.
I think it could be, because the other thing that could be is a tunnel, like say under Catella to get you over to the Toy Story parking lot. And using I think
that's big.
One of the things that I realized might be that they use the Disneyland Forward stuff not all in one fell swoop. It's not just here's a big expansion, boom. It's we got the approval to use this land. Now we're going to use it kind of piecemeal as we need it. And
could be.
And so maybe that's what they do with this.
So the second slide I'm showing is from the water ride. So we are getting an actual Avatar ride. Don't know anything about it. And at first people are like, well, Avatar Land, what is that going to be? Is it going to be like Pandora, where it's just kind of a walkthrough and a water attraction over? But this looks like it's an actual boat ride with a big giant sea creature of indeterminate shape and size leaping out of the water, kind of like a whale with weird shaped tentacles. It's very odd.
It's from the movie.
Looks cool. I imagine it's from the movie. Yeah. So that looks neat.
Boat,
and then,
the boat images remind me a lot of Hong Kong Pirates. So they have it's like a trackless ride plus a boat.
It's like an omni boat.
Yeah.
Cool.
It can turn the boat and stuff, which like our Pirates doesn't do, right? You're going through just a flume, whereas like their Pirates can turn the boat. And that's what this looks like a lot to me.
Yeah. In the concept art here in the lower, oops, what the hell? Stop. I think I just ruined it. Whatever. In the lower part, there's this lady and clinging onto her husband over, but it looks like she's also sitting in his lap, and her arm is like, she's in front, but her arm is wrapped around the back of his neck. It looks very awkward, and I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable.
It's like an AI image that's just a little off.
Right. Keep bumping my...
I don't like it.
There we go.
I don't like this Avatar thing. It's not even that I don't like it.
Yeah, okay.
I don't like it, but I also think it's a mistake.
I don't like it. It's not that I don't like it, but I don't like it.
It's not just that I don't like it.
Right.
I think it's a mistake. I think that putting so much money and space of your parks into Avatar, I think it's a mistake. I think it's stupid.
Yeah, I mean,
we all thought that with the East Coast too when they first announced it. We're like,
I still think
that
that's a
movie is like
mistake.
10 years old now, and everybody loves it.
No,
I think once you're divorced from the IP, like once the IP isn't like once you forgot about the IP, you're still left with a really cool space.
Yeah.
Right. That you walk through and then you leave. Like there's no value in it.
Well, but that's I think what they're solving here by putting in rides. Like I think this is a slide from probably another part of the ride. So it's swampy.
Terrifying.
I know it does.
That's
it looks
great.
awesome. Yeah, it's like bioluminescent swamp water. There's a creature here looking over. These lily pads look dangerous. There's a lot of creatures surrounding you on these big gnarled root systems that are coming out. I mean, it looks really cool. So I think whatever ride they're going to put in there is going to be great. I think it's going to be awesome.
Not for children. Doesn't look like.
Let's see. Some exciting Adventures Campus information. They are going to be doubling the size of Avengers Campus with 2 new rides. And Ryan, you can jump in whenever. That's a lot of rides. While construction won't begin until next year, we have a bit of info on it already. This is from the blog. It says, quote, get ready for a multi-world adventure experience with Avengers Infinity Defense, which is such a cool name.
It's a bad name, but they haven't named a ride anything good in like 10 years.
Fair.
They're like naming
point.
for SEO and that's it.
Avengers Infinity Defense. Like, we're going to defend infinitely, which is also like, well, we need a way to make sure that people understand that the ride just keeps going forever and ever. Oh, infinity. Perfect. We use that right all the time. Technology that allows the Avengers to jump between worlds has gone missing, and King Thanos is using it to wreak havoc everywhere. I thought he was dead, though. Recruits will travel to iconic locations like Asgard, Wakanda, and New York City, along the likes of big and small heroes. You also just might find yourself face-to-face with King Thanos, too. The other, so I think, okay, so here's the concept art for the Avengers Campus expansion. So you can see Tower of Terror in the back there.
They're blowing out. If you're familiar with Avengers Campus and you look at the like building where they do the big fights and that sort of show, it's the wall to the right of that they're blowing out, and all of this is going back behind that and wrapping around that building.
Yeah, so into like Hollywood space, into Hollywood studios, right? Like, so is like the Beverly gonna be gone?
It's got to be gone.
No, that's on the left in this
wrong
picture.
way. Yeah.
What?
So
is it still there? It's hard to see, right? It's just concept art.
That building looks like it has a PIM logo on it, but I think that's just on the facade. Like, that's still the animation area, whatever they call it.
Where?
So I think, so over here on the left, right here, isn't that the theater where they have, well, now it's the Frozen, but used to be the Aladdin show? Isn't that this right there?
No, that's the, like, Animation Academy, Turtle Talk with Crush.
No.
All of that building.
No.
Is it that has the PIM logo on it on the far left of this image?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right here where my mouse is. Maybe you can't see
That doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't make any sense.
Where is the entrance of where?
The way I clock this is that here's Tower of Terror. There's the entrance that we see to Tower of Terror. And if that's true, then everything to the left of it is the friggin' theater.
Yeah.
Then you have like the Beverly and whatever. Then you're in
that would be
Hollywood
to the
Land.
Left of Tower of Terror.
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
So the big building that's there is across the street from Tower of Terror. The big building you're looking at that has like the PIM logo on it, the big like
say PIM logo one more time. I dare you. I double dare you.
PIM logo. No, the big like rectangular building that's there.
Yeah.
That's across the street from Tower of Terror.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
But that's not the Hyperion.
Right.
It's not?
No.
The Hyperion is on the same side of the street as the Tower of Terror.
Okay. Well, I think we're looking at different images.
Staring at this image a lot.
Yeah. I
think we're looking at different
things. This is all
things.
going in essentially behind Tower of Terror and between Catella and DCA's border right now.
Okay. I'm confused by this, but that's all right. I don't really care anymore. Who cares? Like, no one really cares. It's just Avengers stuff, right? Like, who cares?
Who cares about Avengers stuff?
Not me. That's for sure. The other ride just announced is Stark Flight Lab. You're going to sit in 2-person pods and deploy to a test station. Then a robot arm grabs your pod and starts whirling you around in a simulated flight. And a familiar face will join you. Mr. Stark himself, Robert Downey Jr., reprises his role as Tony Stark for the attractions in this brand new land. So here's the entrance to Infinity Defense. Looks standard. Actually, sort of looks more like At Home in Tomorrowland. You know, it's like more like Star. It's more like a spaceship. Why can't I think of any names anymore?
Space Mountain.
Thank you.
Is that what you're looking for?
That's what I'm looking for. Space Mountain.
It does.
Yeah, so it's very Space Mountain, very Tomorrowland-y. But, you know, that's cool. I'm sure it'll be great. I'm sure it'll be a fantastic time. You know, I think the robot arm ride is actually maybe the bigger deal here, partially because it's putting something that isn't just a like huge e-ticket in the land.
Yeah.
It's something that people can go do. And all the concept art shows it as being outdoors, which is huge for that land because the only kinetic energy you get in that land right now is Spider-Man flying overhead and smacking into the wall. Right. Like, so here's some more art. There's Ant-Man. He's super big. He's smashing the theater where you're in, or whatever is happening. And then you have Incredible Hulk there too. And there's a big explosion in the background. There's a couple of warriors from Wakanda there, and there's Black Panther. That's kind of fun. And a lot of stuff going on here.
Yeah, Ryan, it reminds me a little bit of like Luigi's. Yeah. In essence, it's kind of a lame ride, but it's also not bad. Yeah. It's kind of fun, and it's almost more fun to walk by and just see these cars driving around going, what the heck are they doing? Yeah, exactly. Right. Here's the concept art for Stark Flight Lab, and it looks pretty neat. So your ride car is just a 2-seater, and it attaches to these arms that look like robot arms you would find in any sort of like car plant. You know, like the automatic welders, that they pick up these big sections of cars to like carry them over or whatever. And it looks like those grab onto you and then lift you up and sort of rotate you around and whatever. It looks a very fun, very kinetic ride. Looks awesome. Yeah.
It looks like
it looks really neat.
It looks like the Harry Potter ride.
Yeah, for sure.
And
it's the same technology, I think.
Yeah, it looks like
it very much looks. So the Harry Potter ride uses what's called a KUKA arm, and I'm pretty sure that's what this is going to be again.
Which means it's going to make you nauseous.
Probably. At least you're in the open air instead of, the Harry Potter one where you're in a bed.
And at least Robert Downey Jr. is talking to you instead of an impersonator.
Robert Downey Jr.
All right, let's move over to Disney World for a second. Disney World are getting a Monsters, Inc. land, for God's sakes. A whole land. They're going to gut Hollywood studios and plop this Monsters, Inc. land in there.
They're removing Galaxy's Edge. They're removing Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Just all 5 parks are actually just going to be Monsters Land.
Right.
The ride will be one of those suspended coaster styles, similar to the one in Harry Potter Land. The Disney Parks Twitter page announces this as the, quote, first ever suspended coaster in a Disney park. And you just have to wonder why they're so excited to be 10 years behind on innovation.
And movies. Like, I was like, it being Monsters, Inc., like, they didn't announce a new Monsters, Inc. movie. So, like.
Well, you just had Monsters, Inc., Monsters at Work that's still coming out on D+. I think the latest season of it just came out last year.
Yeah. I've never heard of that.
It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. It's nice. It's like watching Monsters at Work. It says what it is.
Oh, that's good. From the comments by tomorrow, we are going to be in the hallway of doors. Oh, here, let me get the concept art up here for you guys. You can check it out.
Yeah, they've been talking about while Jason's bringing that up. We've heard rumors about this door coaster for decades.
Oh, sure. All right, so here's Monstropolis or whatever. So you have the big giant building that the monsters work at, and it looks sort of boring. It's fine. It's standard. It is what it is, Yeah, it's right. Exactly. It's a little town center. There's some housing right there. Yeah. So, and this is a little more concept art of the land. This little girl down here has the best looking ice cream cones I've ever seen in my life. But they're going to melt in 8 seconds because it's friggin' Florida. But what are you going to do? So you got Sully walking around there. You got a dude with a little alien and a little, Bjorn baby or whatever. But it looks much more fun down on the ground here.
It's great.
Yeah, it's cute. It's a cute little town center right at the feet of Monster, whatever it is. So here's the concept art for the door. And it is very much like you're on a track ride, suspended, you're sitting down. And you're running. There's all these doors, and I don't know what it's going to be, but that's exactly what's happening. From the comments by tomorrow, we're going to be in the hallway of doors, being picked up and shuffled around in the area, which is cool. It sounds fun. I do think it's odd that out of all of the Monsters movies, out of all of the possible locations, gimmicks, and devices that we've seen in the Monsters universe, we go back to the hallway of doors, which we've seen already in the ride in DCA. So. Excuse me if I'm not all that excited. I think it's going to be a nicely executed concept, but it's just like we already, tomorrow's like, ever since I saw this the first time, I wanted to be in that hallway of doors. You could just go there now, dog. There's a ride that does the same thing.
It is the best room
not
in
as
that
cool.
ride.
It is. But it's like, we're just so stuck in this concept for the ride. It's just like, bro, we've seen it. So some of these already are just kind of refreshes of ideas that already exist.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
But
I'm sure it'll be
imagine
great.
going through that room, but fast.
I can't.
I do think like a thrill ride is a weird choice for a Monsters Inc. land. Like something kids can't go on.
I think kids will be able to go on it because they don't have big shoulder straps.
But
they're announcing this as a coaster.
Yeah, you're being in the air, so I would imagine you have to be 48 inches or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll see. It'll be great. Of course, this is the thing. It's always going to be good. It's just I feel like we've done this specific concept before.
Aerosmith did retire from touring today, so
good.
Maybe it's going to replace Rock and Roller Coaster.
Over in Animal Kingdom, it'll be Taylor Swift's, Eras Tour coaster.
It's the same exact ride. They just replaced the
do
show.
An Eras Tour land instead of Avatar land.
Do
you know how many people would go there?
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. Should we have Chapel Roan on the balcony just doing Hot to Go for over and over again. HOTTOGO. Over in Animal...
My son has started singing that song.
Oh, your son rules.
Doing the dance.
Over in Animal Kingdom, they are getting 2 new rides based on old IP. I don't know. I guess I was in a mood when I wrote this. Set in the new space themed around the tropical Americas called Pueblo Esperanza. We will see. So this is it up here. This is the concept art that's up, and we saw this before. I think as part of maybe last D23 or as part of Disneyland Forward. I forget now.
It was April. It was April when they dropped this.
Okay, so it's old concept art.
Yeah, it was separate.
Yeah, and you can sort of see Casita there in the left corner. There's a temple back there in the top. Kind of looks like a Mayan temple and a little city square, and it just looks like a nice, cozy, idyllic Central American, I don't know what white people think Central America looks like, I guess.
Tropical America.
Sure.
That's the term they're using. Yes.
Yeah. So here we're going to see a new Indiana Jones ride as well as an Encanto one.
Oh, this is Walt Disney World. Okay.
This is over in Animal Kingdom. This is going to be dropping. So they're going to a whole new land themed around tropical Americas. So here's the entrance to tropical Americas, I suppose. So it looks kind of like Harambe, that little land. Everything looks worn. So this is like a big, nice archway into the town square, like and ancient. The paint is kind of stripped away a little bit in places. But here's my favorite part about this concept art. And they've like CGI drawn some people in here. Here's a dad with this backpack and is pointing to his kid or whatever. Mom has yoga pants on.
Of course she does. Look at her.
This
She's ready
lady
to go.
also has yoga pants on. This man has jeans on while his son and his wife both have, short pants on or whatever. This man has shorts on or pants on. Is it hot or is it cold? I also
they got Tomorrow in there.
I also
those
like
are tight enough jeans to be him.
I also like how the concept art of the old, right, is like people that dress nice. But now Disney knows their core audience, and they're just like, okay, all the women are only just going to be wearing yoga pants. That's where we're at. I just think it's very funny. Like, why not? Why? Just why?
Because that's what you're going to see.
I know, but you don't need to. It's just.
Wait, you want them all wearing tuxes?
Yes, kind of, honestly. So here's the entrance to the land. Looks fun. Looks just like what you would expect from that area in Disney World.
I love it.
And here's another view. So it looks like they're going to have a merry-go-round full of different animals and stuff like that.
That's pretty artwork.
IP animals, I think.
Yeah, and so this, I think, is the entrance to the Indiana Jones ride.
Mm-hmm.
So Indy has discovered a perfectly preserved Maya temple, along with rumors of a mythical creature who lives inside. So, of course, he just has to go explore it.
Of course.
Yeah, right. And like that's kind of, which I love the Indiana Jones stuff because there's a lot of talk of like cultural appropriation. Like, why is he raiding? He's not discovering things. He's stealing artifacts from tribes. Like, what is he doing? He's kind of a menace, to be honest with you. But, he gets his ride. So that's happening. We're getting a new Indiana Jones ride in Animal Kingdom.
I do want to give the company some credit on this one, where they could have, because it's replacing Dinosaur, which is the track from Indy.
Right.
They could have literally just ported out Disneyland Indy and put it straight into Animal Kingdom. But they are opting to make it a little different, right?
It's a new story, new effects.
Yeah.
For sure.
Which I think shows that they learned from like Galaxy's Edge, where it is literally the same thing on both coasts.
That's true.
And so, hey, credit where it's due.
I guess. Yeah, I suppose. Tell that to all the dinosaur fans. So yeah, this ride is replacing Dinosaur. That's where this is going in that kind of general area. For the Encanto ride, or the Encanto, I guess it's a ride attraction. Let's call it an attraction. It sounds like we're going inside Casita, as Antonio just received his special gift, the ability to communicate with animals. His room transforms into a magical rainforest, and we have to go exploring with him. Construction will begin this fall with an opening year of 2027. So there you are. It's a boat ride again. And we're inside the rainforest, and the whole cast of the movie are there. You have a bunch of capybaras and anteaters, it looks like, maybe, and a whole bunch of stuff happening over in Antonio's room, which is kind of a weird character to focus on, I guess, right? Don't you think so?
Well, it's Animal Kingdom.
I get, okay, sure, I guess.
I mean, that's a good point.
But then what? Indiana Jones in a Mayan temple? Like, that's not animals.
They have animals in temples.
I think they mentioned he's like, he found a creature. I think that was like
creature,
part of the story they announced.
Yeah. I do like this concept art, which is just the outside of Casita, which it looks cool. So maybe this on the left side here. I keep forgetting, can't see my mouse.
Looks a bit like bathrooms.
Probably where the line. I'm guessing where the line is, maybe to get in.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they animated this live, like when they were showing it in the room, and the like Casita was moving.
Oh, cool.
In the concept art.
I bet.
So hopefully there'll be some like pieces of it that move.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure this is just a show building. I'm sure you're not actually going in the front door. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would bet. Perhaps the biggest friggin' letdown I've gotten from D23 is happening in Magic Kingdom, where the Cars franchise is gentrifying the rivers of America and turning it into the American West for unknown reasons. In an homage to global warming and erosion, Disney Experiences chairman Josh D'Amaro, with the help of Toe Mater via video call, announced that a new area inspired by the Pixar Animation Studios film Cars will be coming to a reimagined section of Frontierland at Magic Kingdom. Quote, "The American West has always been about keeping your eyes on the horizon, believing in yourself, carving your own path, and killing anyone who gets in your way. And striving towards success. That goes from miners in the mountains, bears from the country, a princess from the bayou." Okay, so the American West, and then you're talking about New Orleans. Got it. Okay, great. Or a race car from the big city, Josh told the crowd. In this invasion, we will get 2 separate Cars rides. Quote, one attraction will invite you on a thrilling rally race through the mountains. Take on wild terrain as you race across the landscape, climbing mountain trails, dodging geysers, and Mater's favorite, splashing through mud holes. So here's a little bit of that. The cars are definitely more rugged, off-roady. You know, they got
Subarus.
They are. They got the lights at the top, and they're splashing through mountains and whatever. It's just, you know, they're everyone's having a hoot and a holler. They're having a great time. And then they're at the finish line. Everyone's muddy. You got Lightning McQueen and Mater there calling the I don't want to say the game, but they're doing play-by-play of what's happening. They get the video screens up of all the other races, and all the cars are saying, congratulations. So it's another race, which is cool.
It's going to be the same ride, but again, a different story. And that's cool.
Same ride as like Cars Land ride?
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting because they have that at Test Track, and with the amount of rain they get, putting actual rubber tires to the ground is challenging.
Oh, sure. But what about smaller racers, you guys might ask? The second attraction will be geared towards them, towards young kids, and will be fun for the whole family. So I imagine this is it too. Maybe not. I have no idea. But there's just cars going over dirt, you know, same old kind of thing. There's the waterfall like we see in the original artwork. So this I pulled, I think Ryan dropped this in Discord, where this is going. So if you're paying attention, you know that this also means that Rivers of America is gone. Rivers of America will be going away in Magic Kingdom. And so
this sits over half of their Rivers of America.
Yeah, there could still be some rivers.
Maybe.
I think Villains Land, which we're probably going to get to, is the other half.
Yeah, right, exactly. So this part is it's gone. It's going to leave, you guys. It's going to go away.
Why not?
And if you're paying attention, you know this will also mean the elimination of the Mark Twain Riverboat in Disney World as well.
We call it something different there.
What do you call it?
I was going to say,
the Liberty Bell.
Yeah, who cares? You know what I'm talking about.
You know what?
No one cares. No one likes to know
Dick Irvine, okay?
Yeah. You know what? Hopefully it's a Bob Iger, and it goes away. What do you think of that? Magic Kingdom will also be getting another new land, Villains Land. Uninspired name, but, you know, whatever, dude. As Disney Experiences chairman Josh D'Amaro announced during Horizon, I love stuff from the Disney blog because they have to use every name. So they go. As he announced during Horizon's Disney Experiences Showcase at D23, the ultimate Disney fan event.
Jeez.
This new land will be home to the Disney villains we know and loathe from our favorite Walt Disney Animation Studios classics films. Quote, which means happily ever after may just feel like a distant dream. The evil ambition of all these villains means that the possibilities are endless for the stories that can be told, and visitors to the dark and thorny land should be prepared for whatever chaos might come their way. The new land will encompass all your dreams, nightmares. The space will be home to 2 major attractions, dining and shopping on an incredibly twisted grand scale. They say, quote, be prepared, you poor unfortunate souls, Josh teased. It's going to be a fearless new vision for what a Disney experience can be. You might have just felt a shiver run down your spine. That's because preparation is already underway at Magic Kingdom for this new land. Maybe think twice before you indulge in that next shiny red apple. Just whatever. I got to do some of those dumb things. Anyway, conceptually, this land might be one of the better themed lands I've seen announced. I love the dark vibes, and the idea of having random bad guys from all over Disney IP mingling and canoodling seems kind of fun. No notes. I mean, maybe a couple notes on the name, but here's the concept.
The name was not announced. The name is a fan.
Villain Land? I mean, it's directly from the friggin' blog. So
we've got 5+ years until that.
Yeah, that's probably true. I like it. I think it looks really cool and dark and scary and spooky. And a lot of craggly rocks. And, you see the dragon back there, and there's a crow up there. And
it also feels like the most direct response to Universal.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you get this announcement without Universal Monsters.
Yeah, probably.
I'm having a visceral reaction to it. I don't like it.
Yeah? Why not?
Because for me, the Magic Kingdom, Disneyland, whatever, is supposed to be happy. And the movies have these villains. I don't know. I don't need it. I love it.
I know what you're saying. There is a dark side to it. And these villains have sort of like run around every now and then in the parks.
Yeah, and I like seeing them around.
And people have long clamored to be able to meet more of the villains, do more villain stuff. And I think with the popularity of the Halloween parties and stuff, where people are way more excited for these, I'll maybe tone down a little bit more villain experiences, because you got like the dark green and the purple lights. And, once you do that, it kind of makes it more jokey, I suppose, than like, actually try to be scary. Those things sell out instantly, tickets for those events. So I think people are more conditioned to want this kind of stuff. And I think honestly, this is what Ryan's saying is that, it's a direct response to Universal, but I think it's also fan service. And I think it's a really neat way to put all the villains that don't come out all the time that people really want to interact with into a space that makes sense in some like weird alternate universe. I don't know. I think it's kind of neat. I like it.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I guess like I feel like they think that people liking Halloween means people like dark things, like these dark things. For me, they're like misconstruing why people like the whole Halloween thing. But I don't know. You guys all like it, so
maybe
I'm the odd man out here.
Hey, man, who knows? 2 new lounges are also coming to the Magic Kingdom. One is themed to Spaceship Earth, supposedly. Oh wait, did I miss something? Did I screw up? Why is Walt? Yeah, I did, didn't I? Okay, let's go for
Robo Walt.
Back to Disneyland.
Yeah,
wasn't that my idea at some point? I think
They must be listening.
They are. I feel like it might not have been mine, but we talked about
more
that.
Marvel stuff.
All right, there we go. Okay. Yeah, 2 new lounges are coming to Magic Kingdom. One themed to Spaceship Earth, supposedly, and I say that, and I'll show you the artwork in a second. And the other to Pirates of the Caribbean. First announced at Destination D23 last year, this rambunctious watering hole will offer a welcoming haven for all pirate kind, big and small, and everyone in between. Here, bandits and buccaneers-to-be from every corner of the 7 seas are welcome to join together and raise a toast to the pirate life. In the newly released artwork, X marks the spot for a seaworthy selection of grogs and grub inside this tavern location coming to Magic Kingdom Park. So here's the concept art for the Pirates one. It's fine. It looks okay. Maybe possibly like family style tables, like just the big long table and you kind of just sit where you sit. Chandeliers in the shape of a big wooden anchor with candles on it, and there's a guy standing on the bar.
Yeah, it looks like a show.
It's going to be animatronic.
Yeah, it looks like it's a show. Oh, there's an octopus candelabra or chandelier over here. That's kind of neat. Yeah, maybe a show. I don't know. That's fine. Whatever.
This
cool.
looks great.
Looks great.
This took them too long to do.
Yeah, I suppose.
100%.
Yeah. And here's in stark contrast, here's the Spaceship Earth concept art. And this is why I say supposedly it's themed to Spaceship Earth.
It just looks like a modern hotel
Yeah,
lounge.
this just announced lounge is inspired by the stories, shapes, and enduring legacy of this timeless icon.
Shapes. This was the Siemens Lounge.
Okay.
This was so a lot of the attractions at Epcot that were sponsored by somebody, they got their own corporate lounges for their attraction. So this is apparently them saying, yeah, nobody's paying for this ride anymore, so we're just going to let people come in and buy drinks because there's not a lot else to do right here.
Yeah.
And
so does this sit like under Spaceship Earth?
It's under Spaceship Earth. As I understand it, you could leave this lounge or this original area and go basically board the ride from the backside.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I don't know. I doubt that'll still be there. But yeah, it's right next to loading area for
Cool.
Spaceship Earth.
Taking inspiration from the geometric sphere, the Zen space to gather and enjoy refreshments will be draped with rich textures and warm metallic tones, giving it a mysterious and elegant intimacy. First of all, it looks like a friggin' lobby hotel bar. It looks like a Marriott bar. It does not look inviting at all. Everything is warm tone, but it's like light gray and
Gold.
browns, and the
carpet looks rad.
I guess.
Come on.
I don't know, man. The carpet
and the
looks like something you
geodesic
buy from
walls.
IKEA. It looks stupid.
And that
The whole thing
bartender
is
is
not-
clearly the guy from The Shining. The
Yes,
ghost bartender.
absolutely.
This is a missed opportunity
I
because they
agree.
could have taken one of the older scenes and that would have been much more fun.
Well, I mean, so you have this, okay? You have this, which you can go into, most hotels and see, contrasted with this, with the artwork from the Pirates one, where there's
Right.
so much dynamic stuff going on. It's amazing. And then you go to this, you're like, oh, that's a lot of the same color palette.
It's
a lot
going to
of
be a
earth
space
tones.
for them to sell dessert packages to watch the nighttime spectacular.
But yeah, you know what? You're probably right, because out in the distance here, so you can see the Mexico Pavilion, I think, right there through the windows. So these are big, giant windows. And then you see the fireworks over here to the side. So that might be correct. Who knows?
Don't forget that Epcot is not about fun.
It's true.
It's edutainment.
It's about
right?
heat stroke.
Emphasis on the edu.
Both spaces will welcome their first guests in 2025. So there's that.
Not far off.
No, not far
Hey,
off.
they're not exclusive to DVC, so
That's a
that I
plus.
consider a win.
As a DVC owner, it's a plus that we don't have more DVC stuff.
There you go. All right, jumping back to Disneyland. Walt is finally getting his own animatronic. And I say finally because I really don't think he would have wanted this. As much as I hate it when people fall back on that as an argument, I kind of believe it here. In a show called Walt Disney, A Magical Life, we'll get to experience what it must have been like to drop in on Walt's office. As we open the door, fanning the haze of ciggy smoke from our eyes, we will be able to stumble to the window, holding our breath as we throw it open, waiting for the room to become breathable once more. Oh, sorry, that's my Walt fanfic. Yeah, here it is. Okay. The past, present, and future are coming together, giving visitors the chance to imagine what it would be like to stop by Walt's office. Who knows what he might be dreaming up inside? Only time will tell with Walt. So the concept art is Walt sort of leaning on a desk, on a, and there's like a window of the animation studio behind, and then there's the map of that he was showing in the original Disneyland programs, where it's like, this is Disneyland, here's the map, and whatever. It's just a sort of a tiny little representation of what Walt's office was looking like at the time.
And this is going to replace Lincoln, isn't it?
Well,
rotating with
that's
Lincoln.
what you think. I would love for this to be, well, here, let's address what Taryn decided to jump forward to. The show will debut in the Main Street Opera House, and after its initial run, it will rotate alongside Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. That's all we know. And this will debut in 2025. I don't know what this is going to be. I would love for it to be, because it says only time will tell with Walt. Who knows what he might be dreaming up inside. I would love this to be the version of the Blue Sky, whatever, where Walt tells us what's coming up next, gives us ideas. Here's a slide of new concept art for this ride or whatever. I think that would be cool.
That'd be
I've
cool.
been
I would
thinking a
love
lot
that.
about
That'd be
Star
really
Wars
cool.
lately.
Yeah, this is actually like incredibly creepy to me.
I was going to say, how many Halloween stories are about to be based off of this new ride?
Yeah,
Right?
I don't think I like it.
Ryan, you drift away from your microphone a lot.
I'm sorry.
There you go, brother.
I apologize.
That's all right, man. Tiana's Bayou Adventure gets an opening date of November 15th, and that time, Critter Country will officially be renamed Bayou Country.
Really?
Yeah.
They snuck that one right in there.
Yep.
Interesting.
New little
All right,
shops.
Yep, cute little shops. We're going to shoot to Shanghai real fast because Spider-Man is getting a thrilling new coaster. Not like the arm dislocating experience we have in DCA. So, there's that. And, it's just Star Wars.
Coaster.
It's just not Star Wars. It's just Spider-Man stuff. He's just cruising around. Over in Hong Kong, they're expanding Stark Expo. There's an all-new attraction. Tony Stark has invited his friend and new Stark Industries intern, Peter Parker, to showcase some new inventions. But unfortunately, that also means this has also caught the attention of one of Spidey's most formidable villains. While trying to help Spider-Man protect the new tech, guests are caught in the middle of the action. There's Dr. Octopus in the background there. And so, like, Spider-Man's saving the ride car, but Doc Ock is trying to grab it. And,
it's an elevator drop ride with
it is
Spider-Man.
Okay.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
It looks like an elevator drop ride a la Guardians or Tower of Terror or whatever.
Yeah.
But this time with Spider-Man.
Yeah. All right.
It'll be great.
Fun, man. Yeah, why not? The Lion King, which I imagine is the classic animated one, even though this concept art doesn't look like it. It looks like the reimagined, remake.
They did say that during the panel. They specifically
mentioned
the
it.
Animated.
Yeah. So I learned a couple things that I didn't know about. Paris has a second park.
Oh, wow.
I had no idea. So maybe I forgot because we don't really talk about it, right?
Because it's so terrible.
Yeah.
Well, that park will be renamed to Disney Adventure World. So, there's that. Which also leads me to believe that at some point, a rename of DCA isn't out of the picture.
It does need to be renamed.
Yeah.
Disney Adventure California.
That's you, right? But the big news is Paris is getting a Lion King attraction. The Lion King, which is celebrating its 30th anniversary this year, has long been a beloved Disney story. A new area of the park will be dedicated to the characters and stories from the film, including dining, shopping, and a chance to meet some favorite characters. Then, when you're ready, you don't have to wait to become a king for this one. Head down to the caverns beneath Pride Rock. The new attraction will bring you alongside Simba's journey from cub to king. It's going to feel like you stepped right into the movie.
And Splash Mountain.
Right.
Yeah, so it looks like it's a log ride, a flume ride. There's a drop. And it's basically Splash Mountain, but Lion King.
And also, Lion King is in the middle of Pride Rock, which notoriously had no water.
Yeah, look, man.
But,
what do you want, Taryn? What do you want from these
during
people?
That one specific scene.
Yeah.
It rained that day.
What do you want from these people?
I don't know.
Also, you're going to have a water ride in a park that experiences winter.
That's cool.
Because
the snow
Disneyland
gently
Paris
falling.
Experiences
It's true.
winter.
It snows in Florida?
Paris.
That's
Yeah.
right. Okay.
But Jason, you might be asking, what do people on social media think about all these announcements? I'm glad that you asked. So I put on my muck boots and I went through into the trenches, deep into social media, which is Instagram, to check out on the official Disney pages to see what people are leaving, amongst the fiff and faff of content. So these comments are about Avatar Land, and I did my best. I didn't just grab the top 5, or I didn't just look for the negative ones. I looked for a range. I looked for humorous ones or ones that we could talk about, but I didn't.
You put work into this.
I didn't pick and choose based on my biases. I'm just going to say that.
Good.
So for Avatar Land. Now, I couldn't also copy and paste people's names. I wasn't going to waste enough time writing everyone's friggin' screen names out. So a person wrote, there was a brief moment in time, and you already know this is just going to be like, who cares what you're saying? There was a brief moment in time when DCA was no longer in an identity crisis. Nearly all parts of DCA represented an idealized version of specific time and place in California. It was great. Now we are back to an identity crisis and losing the California aspect, which is sad. Also, as someone who was here at D23 for 3 days, I've seen all of 2 Avatar cosplays. No one is wearing any merch of it. I literally do not see the demand at all at the biggest fan event. I've seen more Vacation Merlin cosplays this weekend. And that one I thought was good. It was telling because it's like, they put a lot of thought into it. And it's like, yeah, you are at the biggest Disney fan event where there's literally a cosplay contest. Nobody, just people don't seem to care.
Cares? I'm sure it's pretty and I'm sure everybody feels really peaceful when they're there, but no one cares. And for a company that's always looking to fill space with IP, that's just not the right IP. They have other pretty movies.
It's true. Someone else says, boo. How TF does this fit into California Adventure? What an absolute disappointment to the original vision. Thumbs down emoji.
The original vision of
I know.
Superstar Limo.
Nobody likes that either.
Yeah, exactly.
Buddy.
Next one. Respectfully, no. Exclamation point.
Oh, respect.
Yeah. Someone else says, I would happily accept this if we also got Terminator Land.
That would be sick.
And then someone else says, this weekend just keeps getting better. And I can't tell if they're sarcasm or not.
Yeah.
There's no way to know. Someone else says, cool, but what I really wish we were getting is the Villains Land that WDW is getting. I mean, true. I think that would go over better. Someone else says, in all caps, finally, I finally don't have fly all the way to Florida now. So that person presumably is very excited. I think that's great.
And I think that's the general, like, positive I've seen is, hey, I don't have to go to Florida.
Yeah, well, it's a positive in anyone's, whatever. Okay, the Coco ride. Someone comments, take that, Orlando, with a smile, with a laughing, crying emoji.
Okay.
Because we're getting it and Orlando doesn't, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Another one says, this is the best news. I'm going to cry. We are going to have a Mexican ride at the Disneyland Resort. Truly in tears. First of all, it's tropical Americas. Okay. Thank you very much. Someone else says, I'm glad they're making Mexico into a real thing. It's not Mexico. I love it, especially from an American company. It's so kind. That was a lot of the analysis I got on the Disneyland Instagram page for the Coco ride announcement.
I mean, Coco is just Mexico,
Coco is
right?
Mexico.
I thought it was like Colombia or something like that.
No, that's Encanto.
That's Encanto.
Oh,
You're thinking of the land.
No, I'm thinking of Encanto. They're right. I get those two confused all the time. My apologies. But people were very, very excited to have Mexican heritage represented in this ride. It was like it was probably one of the more positive aspects of being on social media that I had today. People were very excited about it.
Nice.
And especially for, being in California, we have a big Mexican population. I think it's going to be great. People are very excited about it.
The food? Oh, wait, it's just a ride. Oh, I was going to say the food's going to be so good.
Can't be better than Casa Rosca.
I mean, it's
the Lion King ride. It's only one because there wasn't really a whole lot of comments. Someone says, not all of the Americans saying this should have been at WDW. Paris got one thing. Can we please just have our one new thing? WDW and DL got new worlds, and we get one ride. Please stop complaining.
You got a new name for your park. Come on.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, and also the omission is what they got. They're not getting a Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, which was planned for that park.
Yeah.
Rumored to have been planned for that park.
Well, then maybe it wasn't planned for.
They got a cooler Avengers campus, at least at this point.
Yeah.
The Walt Disney animatronic. OMG. I almost teared up reading this. Having a Walt Disney animatronic next to the first animatronic he helped develop and an animatronic he himself was always proud of is so bittersweet. And it's such an amazing way to pay tribute to him. Okay, now I'm crying. This person needs mental help.
They're excited.
They're not, if they're crying, that's insane.
I mean, it is.
Thank you. Next person says, so replacing one of Walt's pet projects with himself? Weird choice.
Uh-huh. Agreed.
Someone says, this is definitely a bold move. Someone else, I'm already crying. Crying emoji. And the last one, which I thought was very helpful and a very, very good comment. Town Square, which, first of all, whatever, is going to be a nightmare opening week. Please plan ahead for that.
This person is very
Are they
logical.
instructing Disney?
Okay, here we go. Indie Ride. So this Indie Ride, as Ryan was saying, is taking the place of Dinosaur, which is very beloved, much beloved. It's the ride we tried to go on when we were there, but it broke down and we couldn't. And we were waiting for half an hour and we're like, let's just leave. First one, no, in all caps, 18 exclamation points. I'm sorry, but are you kidding me? Question mark, exclamation point, question mark, exclamation point. Dinosaur is a ride that actually has to do with animals. I love Indiana Jones, but it has nothing to do whatsoever with anything in Animal Kingdom. This is what we're losing Dino Land for? This is why I won't hear chilling like a villain around Christmas time anymore? Look, I'm open to this, but this choice makes no sense, and dinosaurs should not be replaced by something that has nothing to do with the park's theme.
Was that L.M. Gilbert who commented that?
Next one says, look, dinosaurs have already had to go through mass extinction once. This is way harsh. That was a funny comment. Next one, wow, so many people love the awful dinosaur ride? 3 question marks.
Was that me?
That was me.
It's the same track as Indiana Jones. Half of it is broken, so they just turned off the lights. The other half is way too scary for kids and left my child in tears. Indy will be way more fun. Star eyes emoji.
Until the dinosaur leaps out at the end of Indy.
Right. Last comment I clocked says, another vote for hate this.
Dang.
They announced this like a year ago. I mean, come on.
People are, actually, no, this is the last one. All caps. Justice for dinosaur ride.
That's
we should
awesome.
make it
That's
into the
a
good
comment.
dinosaur.
Ooh.
My least favorite movie of all time.
That Justice for Dinosaur Ride should be a t-shirt.
A t-shirt, absolutely. Okay, Monsters Inc. Land. First one. I literally have had this exact roller coaster idea for years. For like the hallway doors. Yeah, literally you and every other person who saw the movie.
Yeah.
Like you're not special to make that comment. What do you think? Someone from Imagineering is going to be like, oh, hey, JX9, Bubblehead 42. You must have really good ideas. Why don't you come in and we'll buy some ideas from you? Like, what are you talking about? Anyway, next comment. Please leave Muppets alone because nobody knows where this is going. And the rumor is like it's going to kill Muppet Land.
Yeah.
Next one. Hollywood needed something more. This is exciting. They're very excited about it.
Okay.
Next one. Great, but all caps. Don't touch the Muppets or Star Tours. My favorite part is the commenter who will switch from normal capitalization structure to all caps in like mid-sentence.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. We're like, you are just, there's intention there.
Yeah.
Next one. Low key should be something to think about. Eye emoji, eye emoji.
Low-key the character or low-key as in
low-key. L-O-W space K-E-Y.
And then what was the rest of that sentence?
Should be something to think about.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, think about that.
So low-key, they might think about it.
It sure should be something to think. It should be.
Should be.
You never know. With two. Anyway. Last one. If you get rid of Muppet Vision, I'll genuinely never spend another cent on the Disney Company, no matter what.
You are a liar.
The Muppet 3D attraction was my only reason for wanting to go back. Can you imagine? So you have, as a company, let's pretend that you're reading this as a company person. You read this and you think to yourself, this person, we have 5 lands, is what it is, right? How many attractions and all this other crap to do, right? But this person only wants to go back for the Muppets. You're never going to please them with anything anyway. So it's such a, whatever.
Jason Segel, just make a 3rd movie. Come on.
Please don't. Okay, this is the last one. This is a bunch of stuff for Cars Land in Magic Kingdom. This is the one that's replacing Rivers of America. Sure hope they won't do something like ripping out the Rivers of America with the Mark Twain and Tom Sawyer's Island.
But they already said that they were.
Yeah, I got. Yeah, you're gonna hate the next couple years, brother.
Yeah.
I got news for you. Next one, Frontierland. Seriously, why not replace the Tomorrowland Speedway? It's already associated with race cars, and it's been outdated and in desperate need of a facelift for 40 years.
Wow.
Next one, Frontierland. This belongs in Hollywood Studios. I'm so confused. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a
it's
head
not
of
wrong.
Pixar and
Yeah.
Next one. Maybe I don't remember my history correctly, but I don't remember cars being a part of the Great Frontier.
That's a really good point.
Yeah. Next one. Who on earth was asking for this?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of those. This is a common question in the comments from all of these announcements.
Yeah.
Nobody's asking for anything, but you're getting it. So deal with it.
Yeah.
Next one. I guess we are just throwing away the theming to all lands now, which is that's kind of the overarching comment of this whole episode. Yeah, right. Everything is going to blend in. Like there's nothing has any meaning anymore.
No.
There's no separation. It doesn't matter anymore. Next comment, all caps. Thank you, Disney. So someone very excited for this.
Huh.
Did they end it with ka-chow?
No, but there were a couple of people who said this announcement makes me want to say ka-chow. And then they said it. And I threw up. Next comment, all in caps. This is all caps. Like this comment if you want to save the rivers of America. At the time of press, it had 1 like.
That sounds like more effective than a change.org.
Yeah. Second to the last one. Can Rapunzel get more than a bathroom? Please and thank you.
Oh, yeah. Rapunzel. Fair. Man.
Yeah. And then last but not least, yo, I'm so stinking excited for this. Cars was my childhood movie. And I put that in there just to make us all feel very old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your childhood movie was Cars. Got it. All right. Perfect. And that is the D23 rundown, everybody.
Interesting. Justice for Rapunzel. Yes. Agreed.
She can have a cart in Villains Land.
Will Frontierland be called Frontierland by the time that those rides open?
No way. No, it's something else at this point.
I mean, at this point, it's going to be called Drill Baby Drill. I just, I can't, I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. But really what they should have done is they should have replaced Dinosaur with Cars because they have the Dino-Co, the Dine-Co oil. It's perfect.
And all that gasoline is just dinosaurs.
It's perfect. It'll be so good.
They could drive past pictures of animals that are dead now.
Yeah.
And they could have left the parking lot theming alone.
See? Now we're getting it. But I think overall, we got a lot of really good announcements. I feel like overall, there's a lot of fun stuff to look forward to in the Disney parks.
Solid B.
And I think the context of this being announcements of things that are happening instead of, hey, we might do this maybe if you are good little boys and girls.
Yeah, which is what the last D23 was about. So they took a lot of that and kind of, but it's going to be interesting to see if they take feedback. So someone was saying, oh God, I forget what it was. I think it was the Cars thing. Someone in the comments was like, yeah, I was at this panel and the hush that came over the crowd when this was announced was palpable. I really hope that they come back and rethink where this is going or what what's happening. And I wonder if they're going to be doing that because again, it's all concept art. It's all this is what we're planning, but we all know Disney is going to change at some point.
And they have plenty of space.
They have plenty of space in Florida. I don't know why they have to tear this out. I personally love. Let me turn this music off. I do this all the time. I personally love Rivers of America, and I make a point in the Hot Let Cold Feet episode on the upcoming hit podcast, The Buena Vista Boys, where they're going in a canoe, down the river or whatever. And I had to pause it and double check to make sure that wasn't actually the Rivers of America at Disneyland because it looks so similar. They have the hills right, they have the trees, the different shrubs at different levels. It looks good, and it's a reminder of how well they did theming Rivers of America. Yeah. And it would be a shame to kind of tear all that place out. And a lot of people in the comments for the Cars Land were saying this is one of those places I can go to get away from people. You go on the island, you can walk around. Yeah. It's serene. It's a calming place or whatever. This is just a bad move. So we'll see if they, I'd be interested to see if they change anything. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Like the Rivers of America when they get rid of them.
That's right. Just fill them in, man. I hope they don't do it. But whatever. What are you going to do? All right. Thank you very much, everybody. I really appreciate you joining us. Thank you, Ryan, for coming on. Ryan from Puny Pod. Sure. You can go listen to more Marvel nonsense over on Puny Pod, wherever you get your podcasts. And
and we'll have Eric on our next episode, too. So you get 2 of us.
What are you guys going to be talking about? Anything cool?
Avengers Infinity War. Not to be confused with Infinity Defense.
Right.
Infinity War.
I will defend Infinity War.
The Infinity Attack, and then you have
Nobody
Infinity
likes
Defense. No, I don't know anything about it. Well, that sounds great. I think that's a lot of fun. All right, everybody, thank you very much. If you want more information on all of our shows, all the nonsense and business that's going on in the show, go to EarzUpPodcast.com. It's EARZ-podcast.com, or any variation thereof should take you there. And you can learn all about us. We have merch on our Etsy shop. It all links there. The whole thing. It's a whole thing. So check them out. All right, everybody, thank you very much once more. And until next time, we'll see you in the parks.